getting out of college, had gotten into the festival scene, the rave scene, and I got really, really deep into it because I had done previous things, previous experiences, but then diving into the festival, the rave scene,
Hmm.
it's all about opening your mind and, experiencing all the spirituality and in quotes that life has to offer.
Yep.
And um so I was diving so hard into that and then took a step back after I had my child. And then when I met my husband, who grew up Christian, he grew up with it all in his life, his whole family, Pentecostal, or Church of God, just very spirit filled. And so he grew up with that. And so when I met him, he asked me my belief, and I was like, "Oh, I think I am you, you are me, we're this tree,
Uh-huh.
we're all one energy." Like that was my belief before.
Yes.
And I even had like false revelations on it in while I was on these drugs, because he feeds you. It says in the word that he will send stronger delusion. I can find that scripture. But
I know
so
what you're talking about with that because I remember when I was using psychedelics specifically because I wanted revelations about my life. I was seeking answers. What am I supposed to do? Who am I supposed to be? And I would do psychedelics to kind of, get an answer. And I do remember having encounters with what I see now as very demonic spirits who were giving me these answers,
yeah.
like you said, are delusions and intended to lead us further away from the Lord.
Mm-hmm. Because yeah, it really is. You think that your mind is opening more, and you really feel like, man, I got that light bulb, I got this revelation, I really got this new thing. And then, I mean, being reborn is literally reborn, be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Mhm.
It's all opening. So, and I can go on a whole tangent with that, but
Yeah, I
uh,
love it.
when I met my husband, brought him into it, and I was like, here, try this,
Mhm.
and it started with just the weed, and then
You were
um,
Eve.
I'm like, taste of this knowledge and this
Yes.
fruit. No, feel these experiences. This will get you,
Yeah.
And because he had never done anything. I mean, 2 weeks after knowing him, I was like, "Oh, do you want to drive to Texas?" And so we drove to Texas 2 weeks after knowing him. And he's never been west of Alabama. So I started just packing on all these experiences. So
Yeah.
gave him the weed, gave him stepping up levels. And so it was on my birthday in March, this past March 26th, that my friends set it up and was like, "Oh, let's go to this underground rave in Atlanta." And
Mm.
so it's this place that like nobody knows. Nobody knows. I couldn't tell you how to get there if I tried, but it's kept a secret because they literally have vendors there that just sell open on the table cocaine, shrooms, Molly, ecstasy, ketamine, just open. It's on the table.
Yep.
Just come up and buy it. And so, and I had given him Molly before. And so I mean he was fine last time. And so this time when he went, I was like, "Oh, I'll just give him the same amount that I'm taking because he's a bigger guy. And I'm smaller than he is." So I was like, "Okay, so our tolerance will be the same because I have more experience, but he's bigger, so it'll be fine."
Yeah.
And so, boy, so I was giving him Molly while I was at work because I worked at a bar at the time. And so I feel the spirit so heavy right now. I'm like, feel
Mm.
it outside. And so we went to this rave. I was feeding them some and I was taking some. And then when we got home, same thing. And I was giving him more. And I was giving him more. And I was giving myself more because I had told him some of my past experiences and he wanted to experience those experiences. So
Yeah.
I was just giving him. And so,
Can I pause for a second to say something? So, and I want to ask you if this is your experience, because some people listening that maybe haven't experienced this would be like, maybe wouldn't understand like why you're giving to him. But like you said, when you've had these experiences, you want him to experience as well.
mhm,
I remember leading people on trips as well, where I'm like, I had seen all these things and I had all these what I thought, quote unquote, were
mhm,
revelations. So I thought I was helping this person by culturing them to this side of the world. I
Yeah.
didn't think I was harming them. So it's like going back, you weren't trying to harm your now husband.
No, no, yeah, definitely not. No, I just wanted him to share. I wanted to share that experience with him because
Yeah.
so at the time, what I thought was fun and mind-opening and eye-opening, I
Yeah.
thought this was something that I felt like before, I thought it was something that everybody should experience before they die, you
Yep.
know?
Yep.
Like this really cool thing that people say stories about, like those people in the '60s, those hippies in the '60s that have all these stories to say. I'm like, live your life, you know?
Yeah. I get
And
it.
so I wanted him to be able to experience the same thing, and he wanted to experience the same thing. So, I mean, and I'm a good amount smaller than him, so I thought maybe it would even not be enough. But yeah, I wasn't trying to harm him. I was just giving it to him the same like I was. So I knew because
Yeah.
I could feel what I was taking. So I knew that he would be okay. But I didn't take into account that I used to do a lot of steroids from bodybuilding. So his
Mm.
heart is not good. It was all kinds of messed up. And so we were just in the bedroom at our home, and, we're laughing because, I mean, we're high, we're laughing because we're
Yeah.
home. And, he starts saying, "Man, I think I'm gonna pass out." And we're, like, giggling, but then he's like, "No, no, I'm blacking out. I'm blacking out." And, so he literally is passing out on the bed. He's gone. He's literally leaving his body. And my phone, something told me to start recording on my phone. And so he's like on the bed and he's like literally gone. He's on the bed, he's gone, laying there. And so I go to pick up my phone so that's why I saw what time it was, because I went to grab my phone to start recording because something literally was like start recording.
Mhm.
And so um next thing I know, his eyes are big and he lurches up toward me and he's inches away from my face. And he's sitting here right in front of me and his eyes are big. And I mean, he was just lifeless a second ago. And now he's sitting right in front of me. And some context, he thought the next day when we talked about this, he thought we had a 30-minute conversation. We talked for 6 hours. For 6 hours. He did not stop talking. In the 6 hours, he was telling me stuff from my past that I have not told anybody before. Nobody knows. He was telling me stuff about my future and our future that was going to happen, which has all come to pass, and more that we haven't quite gotten to yet. He was telling me what I was thinking. The very words that were in my mind, he was speaking them out loud.
Mm.
He was saying words I had never heard before, like Jehovah Jireh, which I know now just means God will provide or God provides. Jehovah Jireh, all these numbers and all these words that were in Hebrew,
What?
and like he was speaking with different accents
Yeah.
that I was like, what is this? I thought that he had lost his mind. I literally thought that I broke his mind, like literally, I thought that he was going crazy. I thought that I was gonna have to put him in an insane asylum. I thought that I was gonna be a single mother. At the time, I literally thought he was gonna kill me
Yeah.
because I felt such a dark presence in the room because
Mm.
I felt the good in the room, but there were times, I mean, it was 6 hours. It
Yeah.
was he would come back, and then there was times when he was not there, and it was nothing but darkness and nothing but something heavy. Like, I really thought he was gonna kill me. Like, I went out to the mailbox because I was like, "Oh, I gotta go get the mail," and it was not the time to get the mail. But I was like, "I have to go get the mail," and he was like, "You're gonna leave me?" And I'm like, "No, no, no, I really just wanna go get the mail." And
Yeah.
I was out there, I told my mom because she was watching my daughter, I told her, I really said, "If you don't hear from me, it's because of me, because I caused my husband to lose his mind. I gave him too many of the drugs, and he's losing it right now." So I warned her, I told her because I really thought that he was gonna kill me, but I was stuck in this, do I leave him here in his thoughts,
Mm.
whatever battle is going on,
Yeah.
or do I save myself? So I stayed, and for 6 hours, it was all of this insane thing, like, so much stuff, and we realize now that God, at that time when he was literally passing, God fought for his body. God, Jesus, literally took over his body when Satan was trying to take it.
Mm.
God came in and purged him of every demon, of every negative spirit, everything that was binding him and keeping him, and had walls built up, everything that was laying on his heart and keeping him from the calling that God has pressed on him. Jesus came into the room and purged him of it. So those accents that came out that I had no idea, these old Southern accents
Mhm.
that I've never heard from him, was demons.
Yeah.
Literally, he was being delivered of demonic spirits right in front of me. So
I
those
was gonna ask what you thought this was because I know looking back now, like when we take these substances, we are opening portals for these demons to enter into our bodies. So I was going to ask you, yeah, like if that's what you thought, but it seems like it's so much more complex than just like one demon entering his body. It seems like there was a whole, like you said, spiritual battle happening in
like,
that one
yeah,
temple.